The back lift, a really important movement. You're going to learn how to deeply relax the muscles of the back when they're no longer needed for action. This will help reduce back, neck and shoulder pain. Now it can be difficult. Some people it involves lying on your tummy and some people are just not happy in that position. So I'll show you some variations that can make it easier for you. And rest assured that the more you do this movement, the easier it will become. Doing this movement several times a day can help remind your back muscles that they really don't need to stay tight all the time. Before we start, I'll just show you a little prop that I've made that I find very useful. It's just a rolled up flannel, and to keep it in position I've just put a couple of hair bands here to secure it, and I'll explain about this. So we're going to be lying on our tummies. Now for some people, when you're lying like this, it's not very comfortable because you feel like your nose is being squashed. So you can place that little rolled up flannel and that'll just bring your head up ever so slightly and you'll feel a lot more comfortable. So if that's you, get yourself a flannel to make it a little bit easier. Comfort is everything when we're doing somatics. Okay, so in this position with your hands up here by your face, if that's comfortable for you, if not, you can just put your hands down by your side. And the first thing we're going to do is just focus on our breathing. So take an inhale, and then a nice long exhale. And as you do so, notice how as you inhale, you'll feel your tummy pushing into the mat. You'll feel your chest come up a little bit. And as you exhale, you'll find that your tummy comes slightly away from the mat, or the pressure lessens, and you'll find maybe that your shoulders want to roll forward just slightly more. So let's do that again, and this time I'm going to ask you to push your pubic bone into the mat as you inhale. And then exhale and let everything relax. So you might notice that as you inhale and you push your hips into the mat, your pubic bone, you'll find that your head lightens, your chest as well, and you may even notice that your feet lighten a little bit off the floor as if they want to lift up. So let's try that 2 or 3 times. Inhale, pushing your pubic bone into the floor. You'll feel all those back muscles contract, and then as you exhale, just let everything melt and get heavy into the mat. So inhale, noticing what's happening in the rest of the body, and exhale to fully relax. One more time, inhale and exhale. Okay, so now we're going to turn our head to the side. So you may find that you're quite happy with your head in this position. For some people, that's too much strain on the neck. If you've got tightness in your neck, that can be a bit uncomfortable. It can help to actually put the prop here at the side of your head. That just means that you're not at such an acute angle. So that can make it a little bit more comfortable like that. So you've got your head at the side now. And the first thing we're going to do is to lift that elbow up. Where can you sense the contraction? And then slowly allow it to melt down. Let's do that again. Lift up. sense that all around the top of the shoulder, around the shoulder blade, at the back of the body. Make sure you fully relax at the bottom. Now this time we're going to add in that in-breath. So let's take this arm and bring it down by the side. We're going to add in that in-breath as we lift up the elbow. And if your head starts to come up, bring that up too. Your head and your chest coming up. If you didn't feel that lightness in your head and chest and that feeling of it wanting to lift, then just add it in voluntarily. So inhale. And then melt everything down. Now, did you feel anything happening as you came up? Did you feel anything happening in the opposite leg? So I'm lifting my right elbow here and the opposite leg is my left leg. So let's do it again and just see if you can sense anything. So inhale, push your pubic bone down, head comes up, elbow comes up. You turn your head as if to look over your shoulder. Can you feel a lightening in that left leg? That left leg is wanting to lift. If you feel it, lift it a little bit more. If you haven't felt that, then just add it in voluntarily. So inhale. It won't come very far off the floor. And you should feel that contraction all in the back of the leg, calf, hamstrings, into the glute and also the lower back on that side. So here we're working on the diagonal. The contraction is going from my right shoulder to my left hip, left side of my lower back, and then down my left leg. So inhale. Sense that contraction at the top. You can stay at the top. I'm talking, so I'm just breathing normally. And then exhale. And slowly let everything melt back to the mat. Now let's try some different arm positions. So for some people, even this might be a little bit uncomfortable. So there is a version which is more extreme than this, and this is where we place fingers by the cheek, and when we come up, it's like we're doing a salute. We're looking down that elbow on the lifting arm. And then let it all melt. So to my mind, that's the hardest version. And then we had this version, just lifting the elbow like that, which we did at the beginning. Let's try something else. What if you were to bring your hand onto your back like this? And then just lifting the elbow at first, just to get used to that sensation. So just bring your elbow towards your middle of the back and it will lift up to the ceiling as well. And then allow it to relax. And if when you relax, to fully relax, it just slips off the back like that, that's fine. It's much more important that you can fully relax. So let's take an inhale in this position. Put your palm back, your back of your hand back on the lower back. And this time we're going to lift the head as well. And the leg. So we've got that diagonal contraction. And let it all melt down. Fully relax so that shoulder feels heavy on the mat. Now, there's a really good analogy that works great for this, which really encourages that little bit more of a twist in the upper body, which is what we're going for. So if you think about your upper back as a doorway, or your upper body as a doorway, and as the elbow comes in, this is the opening side of the door. And this side, where I've got my arm down, that's the hinge. So the hinge is going to stay in its fixed point. Okay, so that shoulder's going to stay on the floor. So let's take an inhale. You bring your elbow in, your chest lifts, and just focus on keeping that left shoulder down. It's like you're opening up the door, and then very, very slowly you relax everything and the door closes. Take a nice resting breath to make sure everything is relaxed. So I've shown you 3 versions there. So you've got your salute. You've got the version where you just keep your hand by the side of your face here and just lift the elbow, keeping that hand on the mat. Or you can try the version where you put the back of your hand onto your lower back and open up the door like that. So find the one that works best for you, remembering that comfort is everything, and of course if you do find it difficult to turn your head that much, then use this prop either there to stop squashing your nose, or here so you don't turn your head so much. So that's the back lift. Obviously you would then do it on the other side of the body, but in this video, because it's a bit longer because I've given you variations, I'm just showing you the one side.